My name is Vorruk. Senior Observer, Galactic Intelligence Division, Sector 9. And I am going to tell you about the single most humiliating, most baffling, most absolutely unhinged day in the entire recorded history of my species. It started with a routine assignment. Vorruk, my commander, Admiral Thessa, said to me with that flat, bored tone she reserves for things she considers beneath her. Go monitor the humans. Report back. Nothing will happen. Nothing will happen. Those 3 words. I want to frame them. I want to put them on a wall in my living quarters and stare at them every morning as a reminder of how spectacularly wrong a 4-star admiral can be. So I went. I parked my cloaked observation vessel roughly 40 kilometers above a city the humans call Chicago. It was winter down there. The humans were bundled in thick coats, sliding around on ice, spilling hot liquid on themselves, and somehow smiling about all of it. I noted this in my report. Humans appear to enjoy suffering. Possibly unwell. My co-pilot, a young analyst named Dreb, leaned over my shoulder and squinted at the screen. Are they fighting the frozen water on the ground? They call it ice skating, I told him. He blinked. Why? I do not know, Dreb. I have been studying them for 6 years and I still do not know. That was the mood. Calm. Observational. Professional. Me and Dreb, 2 highly trained intelligence officers, sipping our nutrient packs and watching a species that apparently invented a sport where they strap blades to their feet and slide across frozen water on purpose. For fun. And then the alarm went off. Not our alarm. Theirs. Across every screen in my ship, every frequency, every channel the humans used, one signal cut through. It was not a broadcast. It was not a news alert. It was something that made Dreb drop his nutrient pack entirely and stand up from his seat with his mouth open. It was a transmission. Directed at us. In our language. In perfect, flawless, completely accent-free Galactic Standard 9. To the vessel currently parked at 41 kilometers above Lake Michigan, the voice said. Calm. Polite. Almost cheerful. We see you. We have seen you for 3 years. We thought we would give you some time to get comfortable before we said hello. Hello. I looked at Dreb. Dreb looked at me. I looked back at the screen. The voice continued. My name is Dr. Petra Solano, Earth Defense Sciences Division. We would love to chat. We have coffee. We understand you do not drink coffee, but we have it anyway, and we thought the offer was polite. I did not move for 11 full seconds. Then I did something I am not proud of. I hit the emergency mute button, turned to Dreb, and said in a very quiet, very controlled voice, they know we are here. Dreb nodded slowly. They have known for 3 years. He nodded again. And their response was to wait. And then offer us a hot beverage. He opened his mouth. Closed it. Opened it again. Should I call Admiral Thessa? Do not call Admiral Thessa yet, I said. Let me think. Here is what you need to understand about the Galactic Intelligence Division. We have monitored 412 civilizations across this sector. Not one. Not a single one. Has ever detected us before first contact. We are the best. We are invisible. We are precise. We are so good at our job that the standing joke in the division is that we could park a cruiser on top of a planet's capitol building and they still would not look up. Humans looked up. Not just looked up. They tracked us. Recorded us. Apparently learned our language. Built a whole department about us. And then patiently waited 3 years for us to feel comfortable enough to chat. I pulled up the signal trace. Precise. Sophisticated. Layered in ways that should not have been possible with their technology level. I ran the analysis twice because I did not believe the first result. Dreb was reading over my shoulder again. Vorruk, he said slowly. There's signal encoding. It is using a compression algorithm that we only developed 11 years ago. I see that, Dreb. How do they have it? I am wondering the same thing, Dreb. The transmission crackled again. Dr. Petra Solano, calm as someone discussing the weather. We also want you to know we have already sent a copy of this conversation to about 40 of your listening posts across the sector. Just so everyone is on the same page. We like transparency. It is kind of our thing lately. Dreb made a sound I can only describe as a strangled hiccup. I sat very still. 40 listening posts. She said 40. We have exactly 40 listening posts in this sector. That information is classified at the highest possible level. The kind of classified where even most of our own people do not know the number. Vorruk, Dreb whispered. What do we do? I straightened in my seat. Adjusted my uniform. Took a long, slow breath. We answer the transmission, I said. And say what? I thought about it for a moment. We say hello back. I opened the channel. My hands, I will admit, were not entirely steady. Dr. Solano, I said, in Galactic Standard 9, because at this point there was absolutely no reason to pretend otherwise. This is Senior Observer Vorruk, Galactic Intelligence Division. You have surprised us. A pause. Then laughter. Actual, warm, completely unbothered human laughter. Observer Vorruk, she said. We were wondering when you would pick up. We had a bet going in the office. My colleague Dr. Fenwick said you would answer in under a minute. I said too. Looks like I owe him lunch. I stared at the speaker on my console like it had personally insulted me. She was betting. On us. While we were up here having what I can only describe as the worst professional crisis of my career, she was running an office betting pool. You said you have known about us for 3 years, I said, keeping my voice level and professional. How? Not a question. A demand. A very polite, very controlled demand from a man who was absolutely not panicking. Thermal displacement patterns, she said. Your cloak is excellent, by the way. Genuinely impressive engineering. But when something with your ship's mass sits in the same atmospheric layer for extended periods, it pushes warm air in a very specific shape. We started noticing it about 3.5 years ago. Took us 6 months to rule out weather anomalies. Then another few months to confirm it was something solid. Then another year to figure out what you were doing and why. Dreb had his head in his hands. I understood the feeling completely. And the language, I said. Galactic Standard 9. Oh, that was Fenwick, actually, she said, and I could hear her smile. He is very good with patterns. Once we had your signal frequencies, he spent about 14 months working backwards through the encoding. Brilliant man. Terrible taste in sandwiches, but brilliant. 14 months. One human. Working alone. Backwards through an encoding system that took our linguists decades to build. I made a note in my report. I then deleted the note because I did not want Admiral Thessa to read it. Dr. Solano, I said carefully. What is it that you want from this conversation? Honestly? She paused. Not nervously. Thoughtfully. There is a difference. We want to know if you are dangerous. And if you are not dangerous, we want to know if we can work together. And if you are dangerous, we want you to know that we are not as easy a problem as you might think we are. A threat. Delivered with the same casual warmth she had used to offer us coffee. I pulled up the secondary scan on my panel. The one that had been quietly running in the background since the first transmission hit. Because I am a professional and I run background scans. Always. The results had come in while we were talking. Chicago alone had 14 signal emitters locked onto our position. 14. Spread across rooftops and towers and what appeared to be 3 modified weather satellites that were absolutely not weather satellites. I widened the scan. The same pattern repeated over 6 other cities across the continent. Clean. Coordinated. Patient. They were not pointing weapons at us. But they were making absolutely certain we understood that they could. Dreb, I said quietly, covering the mic, run a full planetary sweep. Tell me what you find. He was already running it. He turned to look at me with an expression I had never seen on his face before in 4 years of working together. It was somewhere between awe and existential distress. They have 17 tracking systems on us, he whispered. All military grade. All online in the last 40 minutes. Vorruk. They spun up 17 military tracking systems while she was casually chatting with us about sandwiches. I uncovered the mic. Dr. Solano, I said. The systems your people just activated. 17 tracking arrays. Were those already in place, or did you build them in the last 4 years specifically for this moment? Another warm pause. Both, she said simply. I sat back in my chair. Here is the thing about the Galactic Intelligence Division. We classify civilizations on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 means primitive, isolated, zero threat. 10 means capable of posing a genuine challenge to established powers. In 600 years of operation, we have never assigned a rating above 7 to any species below Class 4 development. I opened my official report file. I stared at the rating field for a long moment. Then I typed a 9. Dreb looked at the screen. Then at me. Thessa is going to lose her mind. Thessa told me nothing would happen, I said. Thessa can deal with the consequences. I turned back to the channel. Dr. Solano. I think we need to have a longer conversation. We have been waiting 3 years for this one, she said. We are very comfortable waiting a little longer. But Vorruk. Yes. Next time you park above one of our cities. Maybe introduce yourself first. It is only polite. I looked at Dreb. Dreb looked at me. Somewhere below us, on a small, loud, chaotic, completely unpredictable planet, an entire species had spent 3 years quietly, patiently, and cheerfully preparing to say hello to the universe. And the universe, I decided right then, was absolutely not ready for them.